In 2025, we've seen a rotation of capital leaving some of the best stocks that have performed for the last 2 years, and that capital going to some new places. And I wanted to cover a long list of stocks that I'm currently buying into because I believe they're going to perform great in 2025. The last 2 years have been great to be a stock investor, to build your wealth, and to really lock in some gains. But 2025, so far, after a month and a half of investing, is showing that it might be a good idea to be open minded about some sectors that haven't worked for the last 2 years, but have great fundamentals. Let me get started with my list of why that stock is a buy in my portfolio and the reasons for it. Uber has been in the news quite a bit because Bill Ackman decided to take a $2 billion stake. It is great to see a great investor invest in Uber. I've believed in Uber for a long time and have been buying into their shares. The reason for it is there's been a lot of tension against the robo-taxi story where investors are selling off thinking that robo-taxi is going to replace Uber. Now, I think robo-taxi will be part of ride hailing at some point, but I think Uber is actually going to take it as an opportunity. And it's going to take a long time for robo-taxis to become commonplace. An example is Google Alphabet announced that they had 300,000 rides provided for customers in the month of December, as an example. Uber has people hail a million rides every hour. So the scale of Waymo is tiny compared to the massive scale of Uber. That said, I think Uber is discounted by 83%, meaning I think this stock can run up 83% before it meets its fair value. That said, I continue to pick up shares in the company. So far in 2025, the stock's up 23.67%, and it was really sold off in 2024. So that's a great opportunity for me. While I'm talking about ride hailing, I would also say that Lyft is a great buy. I think that Lyft is discounted by 80%. And the reason for my appreciation of Lyft is that Lyft is a very small cap and they have a now very profitable business generating very good free cash flow. And I think that Lyft is becoming a great acquisition target. You think about these robo taxi companies, wouldn't they love to have Lyft's customer base? Absolutely. And you can pick them up for less than $6 billion of market cap, while Uber is a huge market cap. So this is becoming really interesting to look at Lyft, which has a very low forward PE of under 14 for a positive growing company that is profitable and generating free cash flow. The next two stocks are going to be in healthcare. Healthcare hasn't performed all that great for the last 2 years, but they really have received a lot of capital inflows in 2025. Historically, over the last 20 years, healthcare has been a great place to invest. So I've looked at some companies and really like two. First one being CVS. It's up 20% year to date. So far, so good for 2025. The PE on CVS is really low, under 10 at 9.5. Analysts believe it's a buy with a 27% discount on the stock. I think this stock is discounted by 77%. I think there's 77% upside before we reach fair value on this stock. So I'm picking up shares of CBS. I'm also picking up shares of Elevance Health, which is a health insurance payer. And this company is very similar to United Healthcare, smaller, but more profitable and generates better free cash flow percentages. They also have a really low PE of 11.35 while they are growing their business really well. So I have very good thoughts on this stock for 2025. Analysts believe it's a buy and it's discounted by 35%. I think that Elevance is discounted by 85% because they just generate really high free cash flow, consistent growth, and profitability. Chinese stocks had a decent fourth quarter in 2024 and are beginning to really rally if you look at the past couple of weeks. The whole DeepSeek story of them coming out with AI that rivals ChatGPT but was done at a very low cost rate was really impressive. And the Chinese stocks have really taken off. Alibaba had a terrific week this past week, and it's on my buy list. I own a very good position of Alibaba, and I'm adding more shares. The reason for it is I think Chinese stocks have an opportunity to sell to all parts of the world, not including the US. If you think about their competitive advantages, they have great advantages, obviously, in Asia, where they can sell so many services that Alibaba provides. as well as Latin America, Middle East, Africa, Europe. They have great advantages. And Alibaba announced that they have their AI, and their AI is also like DeepSeek, that is less expensive to run and operate. So you think about countries that maybe don't have the big budgets of US and other countries like that, they'd love to have AI be part of their economies, their education systems. And I think Alibaba is going to do really well in those places. Nonetheless, their fundamentals for 2025 look terrific. Their forward P is only 11.47 for a high growth company that is in the technology industry as well as e commerce. It rivals Amazon in Asia. They're in the country that has a faster growth rate from a GDP perspective than the US. All those things I like, as well as that big picture I shared with you. Analysts think Alibaba is a strong buy, discounted by 9%. I think it's a buy and it's discounted by 19%. And I think that the whole picture for China could really improve in 2025. The new president has really created tension between the US, Canada, and Mexico at this time. I haven't seen a ton of tension between China and the US, which has been interesting. If the tension doesn't go anywhere between the two countries, I think Alibaba is going to flourish. And overall, this is a really good stock for me to have. 3M has been doing great for the last 12 months and is off to a great start in 2025. The stock's up 16%. This is just a very well run company that has a very good portfolio of products that it sells. Its forward P is only 19 for a very seasoned and proven stock. They also pay a nice dividend. This is a solid stock that I can depend on, and I'm buying shares into 3M. Its market cap is 81 billion, which is lower than it's been historically. They had a couple of tough years in 2023, beginning at 2024. That's behind them, and it provided a lower stock price. So I like the stock price where it's at. Analysts believe it's a buy and it's fairly priced. I believe that 3M is actually being discounted by 34%. So I'm going to snatch up shares of 3M and see how this stock performs in 2025. And the final stock that I'm going to put on my buy list is Union Pacific. This is a railroad. And for a long time, this stock has been hard to buy into. It was fairly priced or maybe priced at a premium, but it had a nice pullback in late 2024. And it's really offered a nice acquisition price for me. So I'm buying into Union Pacific. So far, year to date, it's up 6%, but this is a stock that is going to be a nice, stable, growing company. These guys have terrific monopoly like barriers of entry. I really like that. Its forward P is only 20. Analysts believe it's a buy and it's discounted by 7.5%. I think the stock's actually discounted by 27%. So this is a good, stable company that I'm going to be adding to my portfolio to become. After two great years in 2023 and 2024, where stocks went up a lot, it is a little harder to find really good stocks that are discounted that should do really well for the next 12 months. I hope my list was interesting. And keep in mind, it's not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy or sell any of the stocks I covered. I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing for my portfolio. Nonetheless, I think there are a set of stocks for 2025 that could really help grow wealth, that could really be winners for 2025. And there is my list of stocks that I really believe in and will continue to buy.